I'm not sure that I'm the biggest music lover, but I think I'm probably the biggest music fan, and I think there's a difference. I'm the one that would, you know, sit in front of the hotels and wait for Richie Blackmore and Deep Purple guys, or, you know, Kiss or Status Quo, any of those bands that came through Copenhagen every 6 months, Thin Lizzy. I was the one that was obsessed. I was the one that saw the shows, bought the records, but also needed the autographs and needed to feel a connection to the bands. So I can relate to that on a personal level. And, you know, I have had relationships with other artists like that, even after Metallica has been successful. You know, I went through a period where I was a fan of Guns N' Roses. I was sort of like enamored with what they were doing. I went through the same phase with Oasis about 5-6 years ago, and Third Degree, Alice in Chains, and so on. You know, basically, the first year that Metallica was formed, I mean, I spent a month following Motorhead around on tour in California and stuff like that, basically driving behind their tour bus until they got so tired of always having me in the rearview mirror that they invited me on the bus. And so you talk about guys who follow Metallica around, I can totally relate to it, because when I was 19 or 20 or 22 or whatever, it filled a void in my life. And I think, you know, to what is it really about? It's about filling a void, isn't it?
They take away my ticket because my brother got rowdy. I can't go to my favorite band's concert because my brother got rowdy. I can't do anything. I tried to go back in, they freaking kicked my ass back out.
Can't do anything.
They dragged me and him out of the freaking stadium and threw me on the goddamn pavement. They left me and him alone in the middle of the city waiting for the concert to be over. My brother was a drunk one, and my brother's friend was a drunk one, and they're still watching the concert in our seats. We skipped school to get the Metallica tickets. And we get screwed over.
The band is going to see this video. What do you want them to know?
I want them
Metallica!
I want them to put it on TV, because this is bull. They take away my ticket for something that we didn't do.
That's so bad!
I'm Cheryl. I live in Staten Island. I commute to Manhattan by taking the ferry. And usually the first thing I do when I get on the ferry is I pull out my Discman and I decide what I want to play for the day. And it's always Metallica on the ferry. If it's early in the morning, I usually listen to the Black Album. I've had a few people on the ferry tell me to shut it off or turn it down, and usually I don't. I have to have music running through my head all the time. And then on the ride home, I pretty much do the same. It's just different music I listen to on the way back. I'm listening to load, I'm listening to reload.
But there are a lot of fans that have grown up with us and are still with us, and there's some that they're new. They've jumped in whatever album kind of suits them. So you know, there's a lot of people out there that can relate somehow a little bit to Metallica. There's no way you could sit and say this is going to happen. You can have dreams. You can say, I want to be that guy. I want to be Joe Perry in that poster, you know, rocking out. But you know, a lot of people just kind of say, well, he's got aspirations. That's great, and la la la, and maybe we should send him to college and this and that. But I mean, as far as I was concerned, there was no options. My family kind of split up when I was younger, and right around high school was when you're supposed to start deciding what you want to do. And music was pretty much my only friend at that point. You know, family had broken up, I'd moved away from friends, and I really just dove straight into music. feel that we're all one big family, and they're part of that. I think the link between us and the fans is the honesty thing. There's no bullshit about it. This is us writing. This is us touring. This is us doing what we want to do. This is not some guy behind a desk with a big cigar saying you got to do this and change the cover and here's your T-shirt and all of that. It's run by us, you know, for us and for anyone else who wants it.
America, 1968.
Martin Luther King was shot.
I bought it the same, let's see, probably been out for a week or two. We've been reading about him in a magazine, Kerrang magazine from Britain. And we just love the name, that's all. We love the name, we got to hear this stuff. And from then on I was hooked, and that would have been, I guess, 83 or something. If you knew anything about the scene, you already knew that Metallica was head and shoulders above the rest. I was working hard with this band Flotsam and Jetsam in Phoenix, and we played a lot of Metallica songs, and I sang all of them. And it was, I mean, they were my favorite band, no question about it, hands down. And just completely blown away by their bass player. I mean, I just felt so inferior. Learned note for note, you know, Cliff Burton songs and all these kind of things, and bowed to him definitely as a bassist and all that kind of thing. We'd never really heard anything quite like his playing before. And so when I heard about Cliff's death, to me, it should have been front page, and it should, you know, the picture should have been one of his cool pictures, you know, or something. And there's this little snip, you know, Clifford Lee Burton, 24, bassist of Metallica, you know, died when a bus rolled over on him. It was crushed instantly, whatever. But it was, you know, I just freaked out. Was really disturbing to me, to all of us. I mean, I remember we did the black armband, the whole thing. At the, you know, we played shows that week, and we wore a black armband for Cliff. I mean, we were down with them guys. I thought that they should probably stop. That was, you know, the Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. That's the blueprints for this music, man. You just lay that down. You put that in the Smithsonian, in my opinion, and that's, you know, that's for our type of music and this part of the century, man. Those guys are the kings. And then I heard something about they were auditioning bass players and all this, and whoa, you know, just the chance to actually even try to prove myself amongst that caliber of players, that kind of thing, man. I just really wanted that. If I could have an hour with those guys, just give me it, you know. And then about the second day after I realized that I did have an audition, I'm going, wait a minute, we're not just going up there just to be hanging out and play the guy. You're gonna get it, man. You're just gonna get it. That's all there is. You were the man. You're the chosen one. You gotta do it. That's it.
Coming.
I have a love-hate relationship with fame. I so much that I even hate using that term fame, you know. People objectify you, you know. They feel that they know you, and inevitably when people meet me, they say to me, wow, you're nothing like I thought you were. Or, you know, they see me on stage and then they see me off stage and they say things like, wow, you know, you come across on stage as this like a big, mean, you know, monstrosity of a person. And off stage, you know, you're just kind of like just a mellow, regular guy. A lot of people, a lot of times, think that they deserve more time with me than I can give a lot of times. And, You know, sometimes that's a problem, especially when you have other obligations or you're in between obligations and you don't have time to like stop and talk to a person. The more exposure the band gets, the less privacy I have, and you know, it's difficult because I'm a loner. I always was a loner. Even when I was in grade school, I was a loner. And so I find it difficult sometimes. I don't want to be some outgoing, you know, celebrity type person when I know deep down I'm really not. And so a lot of times I'll just be the quiet person that I have to be. And sometimes people think that, you know, that's just arrogance or something, and it really isn't. You know, it's just the way I am. A lot of the times it just, I feel that I'm disappointing people. And, you know, I don't want to disappoint people.
I first saw Metallica in 1983. I mean, I was just a fan like everybody else. And I just continued to...
Think of a UFO song and I'll play it.
Okay, On With the Action.
Oh, that's...
I want to warm up a little bit.
That's just easy. That's... Is that it? Was that it?
That's it. That's it. My name's Mark Paschke. I am an assistant public defender here in Chicago. I've been working for the Cook County Public Defender's Office for roughly the last 7-8 years. It's a typical bad neighborhood in Chicago, and the people that I deal with every day in court, many of them come from neighborhoods like this. Their attitude is always, very, bitter, upset. They're being hassled by police left and right every day. They're going to the store, they're getting hassled. They're going to school, they're getting hassled. And I think Metallica sings about that kind of attitude, that kind of, that injustice. All or nothing.
What's that? Oh, Lord. Which is actually an old Faces song that UFO covered. That's obscure.
The reason I became a PD was because I wanted to try to help a lot of these people that really haven't necessarily had a fair shake. In Metallica, in a few of their songs, they talk about the justice system and they talk about the idea that it's all payoffs and it's all about money, but I don't think it's necessarily about money. I think it's about power. Every one of my clients is black. What's that all about? Every one of them, 97% of them are black. And it's all drug cases. Does that mean that, there's no white people committing felonies with drugs? There's something weird about that. I mean, the one thing about the job is that, you're up against it. It's you against everybody. It's you against the police, you against the judges often, you against the prosecutor, you against public opinion. You're not really respected as an attorney. You're not really respected, your clients certainly aren't respected, and you're representing them. And I think with Metallica, one of the reasons I initially got into the band was their attitude. Before they became this huge band, they were just this very extreme, hardcore, angry, bitter group of guys playing this music that really hit home. When you were a Metallica fan in 1984 or 1985, people were like, what are you listening to? What are you doing? And as they became more successful, you were empowered by that. You began to feel like, yeah, their success is my success because I was there when they were, not as big. When we were coming up here today, we were thinking about the show at the Metro too, where you were playing your guitar. It's the first time I ever saw you guys. And you're playing your guitar, and you did this move where you put it over the crowd, and the crowd just took it. And you're just standing there going, and it landed right on one of my friends actually. I met Kirk, like I said, in '83, '84. And over the years, I just got to know him better. One of the things that for me has kind of always been interesting with Kirk is I live vicariously through him. The things I want to do, because we have similar interests, the things I wish I could afford to buy or see or people like to meet, he's doing that, every day. And it's I'm jealous, but on the other hand, it's cool that at least, he's doing it and I can hear about it.
But I mean, over the course of time, every time I was in Chicago, I'd always see Mark, and we kind of establish a rapport.
A genuine, mutual
interest
interest in death.
Mark brought us to the Cook County morgue, and we went to the morgue and hung out. And it was a really great date for my wife and I. This is when we were still just starting to see each other, my wife and I.
I met this freak that worked there that was kind of like, Kirk, I'd love to meet Kirk. So he set this up so when Kirk would come in, they were going to do autopsies and everything right when we got there.
And the second that we walked in, they pretty much said, okay, they're here, let's start. And they all performed autopsies simultaneously. There was 4 autopsies going on at the same time. I pretty much decided then and there that she was the woman for me. That was a truly bonding experience between my wife and I, and between the 3 of us.
And several bodies.
Just won backstage passes from our local radio station here, Laser 103. And we are excited as hell because this is the first time in 3 years we've been trying to get backstage. 3 concerts. I think that's hard for me.
I have been dreaming of this. This is like a dream ever since I became a Metallica fan.
He is one of the biggest fans I know about besides me.
I could complain. I have 30 Metallica shirts at home, and I have 2 walls, 1 wall full of merchandise that I've collected. I've had dreams of this. I always pictured, what would you do the day you got to see Metallica? And it's almost, once it happens, your mind goes blank.
It's here, man. It's here.
It's like, your mouth goes dry. Everything you prepared for to see them is gone. It's like, I could probably die happy right now. I could.
Okay, guys, all you guys with pre-show passes, are you ready to go backstage? Okay, here's the deal. Follow me single file, okay? Toby will bring up the rear. Backstage passes, single file. A second, when I get the word that the band is ready, we will move, okay? Please stay up against the walls. There's people that have jobs to do that come through here.
We're waiting to see them. I'm gonna get whatever I can sign. It doesn't.
We're not sure what. I bought this shirt like a couple days ago on the 1st. It was getting signed. It's never being worn again, ever.
I'm going to buy a case for this if I get this hat signed. Beautiful. All right, here we go. That's a long shot.
Thank you so much. One of those who's who Metallica fan guys. Right there in the flesh.
Metallica Psycho. Psycho.
Signing a birth certificate. Interesting. And the kid's name is James Lars Young.
Welcome to Milwaukee. Again.
Can I shake your hand? Of course. I love you guys,
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thanks.
How are you today? What's going on?
Just like, man, cool.
Wow. I have got my collector's item of like Millennium here now. I could die happy now. It's over. Oh shit, this is going on my mantle, and I'm guarded by lasers and stuff.
Oh, it's just unbelievable.
Being able to see all of the different people that are enjoying the music, the way that they're able to express it and feel a little more comfortable about being a part of something and letting something become a part of them. It's unreal sometimes, it really is. I really try to step back a lot of times, keep the low profile and step back and be able to view that and really value it and really try, be thankful for that every day.
Back again, how you doing,
What's up,
man?
dude? How are you?
All right, be here tomorrow night again, too.
Good. We're still very much fans of music ourselves, and the people that we have taken on as our teachers or our heroes, Black Sabbath and Motorhead and all these different guys we still hold dear. If I can give 1 minute to that guy and 2 minutes to that guy and 1 minute to that guy and a photograph and whatever, they can maybe take on a positive vibe like I took from these heroes of mine. Actually, I think for me, I'm really selfish about it. Yes, I like meeting people and all that kind of thing, but it's my fuel. It truly is, man. It's what I ride on. If we have to do 200 shows and I start getting truly through and through exhausted, I go to these people every day and get that energy. 99.7% of the time, it's all positive. And that feeds me the energy to keep going. Every night, just become that thing.
It's just hard to put your finger on how or why we've arrived at this point, But we have, and it's just a really, really magical thing.
If you put 10 Metallica fans up against that wall over there, you're gonna get 10 different people, completely different people. And if you ask them, what do you want from Metallica musically, you're gonna get 10 completely different responses.
I think some of them are completely out of their heads, It's like, don't you work? I mean, how do you get around here, But it's that kind of rebel attitude and that just free spirit thing that I love.
It's very real to them, very real. Metallica is a part of their lives. They let that become a part of them and take pride in that. So that's something that can move you.
More Metallica is up next on an all-Metallica episode of VH1 Rock Show, only on VH1.
Then I gotta ditch the really beautiful hot date I came here with, and this girl is so fine. She'll melt concrete, this girl. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna say.